Yeah.
Alright, everybody ready?
Whenever you're good. Very good. You're good. We're good. We're good.
Alright, it's fight week. How are you feeling?
I feel super healthy, super excited for my first fight in a PFL, and this will be explode big bump in a Saturday night.
What was the biggest reason that kind of got you excited to sign with the PFL?
What is the reason? I think I was a long time in the UFC. I have little problems with the health, but everything is right now is very, very good, and I'm super healthy. And I just want to try something different, different category, different organization, better money.
Are you excited to kind of be in a situation where you know kind of when you're going to fight, there's a season, when you're not going to fight, there's an off season? Is that something that kind of...
Yeah, absolutely, because I like to have plans for everything. So now I know how to like planning my all year, and I'll be like just with the shape in the all year.
How does your year kind of look if you're looking ahead? Where do you see yourself by the end of the season?
I see myself the new champion in the PFL. That's why I come here, to be the champion, and nobody stop me.
And what do you think of your opponent when you got the name? What was your first thoughts?
I know about my opponent like, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks before. They was switching all the time for me, but it was no problem. I was all the time with the hard training. So I have like 4 weeks to look at him and check him. He's fighting a little bit like a karate style, big dude, tall, but I don't think so he's that experienced. He don't fight with people how I fight in my art career, so I think it'd be a very excited fight.
Thank you.
Your opponent Moraes was supposed to fight Will first. Did he help you at all with the...
I don't see Omari because I think he got injured his knee, so he don't come to our gym. I think he will stay in Russia, get recovery from his knee, so we don't see each other.
One of the big storylines in the PFL light heavyweight division is there could be 5 American top team fighters fighting in this division. So have you kind of talked to each other about fighting each other?
Yes, like in the beginning, I tell you the story. I was supposed to fight with Joe Silverio in the first fight, but it was a little bit like, I'm first fight in the PFL, and I don't want to fight first fight with my teammates. So thank God they switched, and now I fight with somebody who I don't know.
So if you do get matched up in the future, is that something that you talk about before it happens?
Yeah, we talk, and we know this can happen. It's like you say, before it was 5 people: Zapato, Antonio Carlos Jr., Omari, Josh, me, Mareta. So it's a lot of people for the tournament. How many people is in the tournament? Like 16 people. So I know we can fight each other, but this is just business. We don't have a problem with each other. So
Good luck.
With the PFL system, when you're getting scored depending on how the performance of your fight, how do you see that changing maybe your fight style and how you approach each fight?
Of course, everybody want the 6 points, but I don't pressure myself to get 6 points. I do what I can to do this fight. Of course, I want to win this fight, and I gonna win this fight, but I don't know. I can't control this how I win this.
Chris, thanks for taking the time. You fought in Vegas before. Just tell us, how was the camp for this fight? How prepared are you?
Yeah, I'm fighting in Vegas, I think my last 3 or 4 fights. But this fight I was prepared with a very, very tough guys. With I think one of the best middleweight, Johnny Evelyn. I train also with Bo Nico, the wrestler star in the UFC. Bruno Assis, like I have very, very high level sparring partner this time. So I'm ready to go.
Excellent, sir. And last for me, you touched on the health issues before. Is there anything that you can share with us that you were able to?
I don't want to share too much.
Okay.
Like my opponent will know what happens. No, I'm just joking. Was a lot of issues, but I'm ready to go right now. I already forgot about everything, and I just want to smoke.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Hey, well, Christoph. So you had the opponent change to Will. would you just repeat one more time about how you felt about that change?
I fight so long in this sport, so it doesn't matter for me who I fight. You know what I mean? I fight with the best people in the UFC for 9 years, so it doesn't matter who I fight there. I can fight with everybody.
Will, he's the guy from Ireland. Are you gonna have a beer with him after the fight? Has it been a friendly thing with you guys, or?
Yeah, I see him. Like I always see my opponent. I don't know, but I have something like every time I come to the hotel, first what I see my opponent. So I see him. We shake hands. We cool each other. But in a cage, he don't be my friend. I just wanna kick his ass. But after, of course, I like to drink too. So we can drink, no problem.
Who would you say drinks more? I'm sure you're biased, but the Irish people or the Polish people?
One more time.
Who
drink more?
who can like handle more? The Irish people or the Polish? I'm sure you're biased, right?
I think it's hard to say, but I think Polish people, they can drink more.
I've seen some stuff. Thank you.
Everybody go with questions?
Christopher, right here. How do you feel about the Polish MMA scene growing continuously, and is there any Polish athlete or someone you look up to from Poland?
I think the Polish people right now, Polish fighters, they hit the level, and you can see in the UFC on the different organization, we're good. And maybe I think before it was like maybe scary to and no confidence to fight with America with the different people. But now I think we know we're in the same level and we fight good.
Everybody all set?
Yes, thank you.
We are good to go. You're free to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It seems like every fight, I'm assuming, would want a one-day fight here. You're on the poster, you're on the big event. How does it feel to have finally like really made it, like fighting out there?
Yeah, it's good. I've never fought in Vegas before, but everyone, that's one of my goal places to fight. So, last year I got to fight at MSG, and now I get to fight in Vegas. So it's ticking off a couple. So it's exciting.
Excellent. And this is Vegas, the whole lucky 7. You're on a 6-fight win streak, 6 finishes. How do we make it 7 against a household name like Thiago Santos?
Just kind of do what I do, fight at my best, and I'm always improving. And yeah, I think I can beat Thiago anywhere, and you just have to find out on Saturday night.
Excellent. One thing I would want to find out is with this big win, you're in Vegas where money just flows. We're seeing Porsches. Are we gonna just keep that lifestyle up with like the big win?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a little bit of money for once and not be struggling. But I don't think I'm too silly with my money. But see what happens.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Rob, what was your first purchase after the big win?
I mean, just recently when I got back to Denver, I bought a Porsche. Last year I was just renting cars all year, and it was a pretty big hassle. But I got just a Porsche Macan to drive around in Denver. But after the win, I went to Mexico for a holiday for 2 weeks. So they're the only 2 things I've kind of splashed out on.
It was a long year last year, away from your family, in Denver the whole time. How nice was it to go back and kind of chill and see the family?
Yeah, it was so good to get home. It felt like it went very quickly though, and then all of a sudden I had to fly back because we were starting again on April 1st. But yeah, especially going home for summer and getting out of Denver during the winter was very nice.
I've seen a couple of interviews say you still feel like you're disrespected and you're not getting the respect that you deserve. Where's that coming from?
Just a little bit in I know there's lots of websites that do like the world rankings, and I've won a world title in one of the major promotions, and as you said, I'm undefeated at light heavyweight. I'm on a 6-fight winning streak, but all finishes, and then still I think sometimes some of the rankings have me down at like 30 or whatever. So I think fighting Thiago is really good for that, and just fight a big name like him and get a big win over someone who's been ranked in the top 5, top 10 for such a long time kind of helps me shoot up my kind of rankings. And, yeah.
There's a big free agency signing. Are you excited that you're the first person to fight him, or did you kind of want to fight somebody else and fight him down the line?
It goes both ways. I was excited when he signed. I remember when he signed, and I was like, yes, that's these are the fights I want. So fighting someone like that this year is going to be great for me. obviously it would have been cool if, you know, build up and we were fighting the finals or something as a huge fight, but at the same time, that might not have happened. Maybe he lost fights or whatever, and then beating him wouldn't have even seemed like as big a deal. So fighting him straight away, welcoming him to the PFL as a champ, I think that's exciting. And obviously it's a big fight.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Have your teammates or coaches treated you differently now that you're champion, either good or bad?
Yeah, Chris treats me worse. Look at him, he's flipping me off right now. You know, he doesn't listen to me anymore, but no, I think I don't feel like anyone treats me any differently or my life's changed like that in my personal life at all.
Do you feel like you have to train harder now that you're a champion, just because you have that like title kind of over you? Like you've got to prove to people either in the gym or like people watching that this is how a champion trains?
I think a little bit. I think I know I have to keep improving to kind of retain that belt or go back to back. So I'm always looking to see how I can train better or smarter or harder, and just any ways to keep improving as a fighter.
Good.
Yeah. You have so many wins via KO or TKO. Do you consider yourself a power puncher? And for those who don't know, could you describe the feeling of the knockout?
I definitely think I've got power to finish people. I know earlier in my career, lots of those TKOs were like on the ground and pound. And now that I've moved up to light heavyweight and just solely worked on my striking a lot, I know I've got the power to put people away. The knockout last year in the final was, it was a bit strange because it was a stoppage between rounds. So I've never experienced that before. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it took a while to kind of sink in because I know I like putting it on him and almost finished him at the very end of the second round, and then obviously he couldn't come out for the third. But yeah, I think it's nicer finishing someone without it being between rounds.
Last question for me. I saw on Instagram and other social media, you seem to have a thing for cheeseburgers. Are they your favorite food? And if not, what is your favorite?
Yeah, just all sorts of burgers are probably my favourite sort of food to go like have a cheat meal, and burgers and chocolate. Yeah.
I don't. Thank you.
Well, you're riding a 6-fight winning streak, and you're looking to make that 7 against a high-profile Santos. What excites you most about this matchup? Someone like that, is it the name value or what is it?
Yeah, definitely. He's a very good fighter. He's a top 10 guy in the world, and as well as he's a huge name, and that really excites me to, as I said, like I want to start being considered one of the best light heavyweights in the world, and you need to beat people with big names and who up at this level to kind of do that. So it excites me that I get to prove that on April 1st.
Thank you.
Is everybody all set? Good to go? Awesome. So you are good.
Cool. Thank you.
You better, no?
Here, go ahead. I'll let you place that in there. Thanks, appreciate
No, I don't think it's gonna fit in there.
He's okay. He's not look bad.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
fine.
He's okay.
You can hold it like an MC if you want, like a rapper. No?
No. Everybody ready?
I didn't understand the MC part. I was like, MC.
MC Hammer, Remember
I got
back
it
in
now.
the
I
old
got it
days,
now.
how
I
we
got it
got
now. I
permission
got
to
it.
MC? Yep.
I got it.
All right, well, welcome back to PFL Fight Week. How are you feeling?
I feel great and showtime.
What did you learn your first showing from now that you've been able to work on from your first showing?
Pretty much all the same, I am the fighter I am, and that's how I am coming here. I'm ready, and that's it.
What were your first thoughts when you got your opponent's name? What sort of fight were you imagining for yourself?
It's always the same answer. The promoters call me, and I'm always gonna say yes, And doesn't matter if it's Brandon, if it's Shane Burgos, if it's the best fighters in the world. I don't care. I'll fight anyone.
Do you kind of fight or train to fight your own fight, or are you looking at an opponent and making a specific game plan for them? Because I hear fighters kind of say both. And so which one are you more in the camp of, fighting for yourself or fighting for that
It's a
opponent?
mix of both, You have to be the best version of yourself, but you have to be prepared for your opponent. But you can never forget about you. If you forget about you, you're only gonna think about the guy. You're gonna see a monster, and you are the monster.
Thank you.
Marlon, you fought all over the world. Any new tricks up your sleeve when you come here to Vegas? Kind of like a second home, if you will. One of the biggest fight towns. Your preparation for this fight Saturday.
I love the fight. I love this atmosphere, and I love to be fighting for the PFL. And man, I'm blessed, man. Look where I am right now, you know. First fight Saturday night get paid for. I'm fighting the best fighter in the world. That's nothing better that I could ask for, you know. A lot of people, maybe they work their whole lives and won't get opportunities. And I have a great opportunity on Saturday night, and that's how I'm looking for it, and that's how I work for it.
And you just touched on that, on being blessed and the opportunity. Is that, you're like a young veteran, is that what keeps you motivated still to give your best, be at the top and headline events?
100%. This format of the show, you know, the season, be fighting with Brandon, the first fight, this whole make a blend, and that's what motivates me to train.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
Marlon right here. You have a lot of wins over experienced fighters such as Aljamain Sterling, who is now the UFC bantamweight champion. He has a fight booked against Henry Cejudo. How do you see that going, and what do you think wins it?
I don't know, you know, it's hard to pick one. They are both good fighters. I fought both, and I lost to Henry, and I beat Sterling, and I think Sterling is gonna beat Henry. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
And what would a win over Brendan Lonan this weekend mean for you and your career?
Means a lot, you know. He's a great champion. PFL have a great champion, and be able to get in there, do what I do every day, and beat him, shock the world, would be great for my career.
And Marlon, how do you drown out the noise that everyone's doubting you, everyone's saying that you're not the same fighter, that you should retire for good? Like, how do you drown that noise out?
I'm a dangerous guy. That's how I drown. Everyone talks, but everyone is afraid. So that's how I train. I'm here, I'm dangerous, I can do this, you know, and everyone know, my opponents know, and that's how I always work. I work thinking, I want to fight with the best in the world. I want to fight with the best in the world. That's what I'm doing.
I've heard, you said a couple of times that like sometimes you ignore people, but sometimes that you read the comments and it really actually gets to you. Do you try and ignore that, or do you just kind of fight through it?
I just don't see, you know, because in my life I don't need these people, you know. I have a beautiful family, man. I have a great team, training partners, amazing. I have friends, you know. So these people, I have nothing to say about it, you know.
Good luck.
Question. Back in April of 2022, so last year, why did you decide to retire?
Man, I was a little tired in the UFC, you know, the atmosphere, the way I was being treated, you know, and I kind of got tired, you know, and you need motivation, you know. I've done a lot for the sport, you know. I don't need it, you know. I don't like. I'm here, of course. I want to win $1 million, but I want the belt. I want to be the champion. I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the belt. Everybody talks about the money, $1 million. What $1 million is gonna do? You know, I made more than $1 million already. You know, so of course I want $1 million. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying for me the gold is way more important than the money. And at that point, you know, I was just, you know, I wanted something new, and when the opportunity to move to PFL came, I love it. That's my way to fight. That's fights. That's 4 fights in 1 year, 145. That's not much weight I gotta cut. I can fight right now, you know. I'm hydrated, you know. These guys are all struggling and looking down. Their faces are fucked up, you know. I'm not. I'm here and I'm gonna fight, you know. I'm here for fight. I'm not here for the interviews. I'm not here for anything else. I'm here to fight.
Here to fight, and then you win. How are you going to celebrate?
That's my way, man. My way is with my family, you know. I'm fighting for them. They're supporting me. He just asked me about the comments. The only comments that matter for me is my family, you know, and my friends. Everybody else, I'm sorry, but I don't care.
Also, you're from Brazil. My favorite Brazilian food is feijoada. Do you like that as well? What do you like to put in there?
Of course I like feijoada. My mother makes the best one, so that's how I like.
What does she put in there?
She puts any part of the pork that you can imagine, and she put a lot of love as well.
Thank you, man. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Let me ask you this here. As you get up in age, it gets harder to get out of bed, especially you talked about, you've already made $1 million, and as the old saying goes, it gets hard to get out of bed when you have silk sheets. What keeps you motivated now? What has rekindled you? What has relit the flame under you?
Man, this is sport we do, man. Look how blessed we are. I go to the gym, I train, I fight with my friends every day. We travel all over the world, we fight for people all around the world. We are blessed, man, you know, and that's what motivates me, what we do. And man, hopefully I can share to the world what happened to me, you know, because I am a poor young guy from Brazil. I had nothing. I supposed not to be here. Look where I am, you know. I have a beautiful family in the United States. We have a home, and man, what else could I ask for, you know?
I hear that. Now, do you think your experience is something that these guys here are going to have to fear, given where you come from in the UFC? Do you think that's going to be a big advantage for you here?
I think the biggest advantage it's these old guys thinking that I'm a 35er and they are the 45ers. You know, they're not 45ers, they are 55ers struggling to make 45. You know, and I'm a 35er, 45er. You know, I'm pretty much healthy right now. You know, and I believe any of these guys can fight today, and I do.
I appreciate you. We look forward to you putting on a show.
Thank you.
And Marlon, you said that you didn't like how your old job was treating you. Was that just because of the matchups that they were giving you?
It's a blend of things, you know. I don't regret anything, you know. All decisions were made by me, but you could be treated better, you know. Not just with the matchups, you know, but I'm thankful for everything I've done with the UFC. I'm thankful for everything, but now I'm a PFL fighter. You know, I have a home. Here is my home, and that's who I'm gonna fight for.
Thank you.
Obrigado. Now you want?
Yeah. Agora fazer contigo aí, tá?
Fala português.
Oh yeah, right. They're like, you have a beard, and then, like the media guys are like, nobody has a beard. The mullet even makes it look a little bit more interesting.
They're sophisticated, very Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Was the beard grown for the season, to get strength for the season?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think it was one of those like, let's just keep on growing it. You know, my dad was calling me Forrest Gump at breakfast. So like, I'm ready to go home. I'm tired now. I want to go home.
So once you commit though, like at what point you just say, we gotta keep going?
I think my level, I think the mullet's gonna start, you know, I'll take it off. Like, I just turned 30, maybe, you know, when I'm like 36, do I want to be a 36-year-old with a mullet, you know, at 37, but I think I got a good couple years left to it. Yeah.
Why 36? Why that
I don't
number?
know. It's just like mohawks, mullets, like all those crazy haircuts. Like, I think once you pass a certain age, just keep it simple. You know what I mean?
Look how quick we kept that going for the longest.
You gotta keep it going for.
Roy Nelson had it for a long time too.
Yeah, you know, Roy Nelson's an exception. He's an exception.
Right on. Well, speaking of exceptions, you're in Vegas.
Yep.
I'm sure every girl, guy, anybody out there thinks, man, if I make it out here, now I know I'm really like doing something. That's what the preparation being. Welcome to Sin City for fights.
Yeah, you know, the preparation's been amazing. I literally, we're on our 11th week, right? 11th week in my mind is fight week. I've been getting ready literally for 10 weeks for this fight. Slow preparation, small adjustments. Nothing crazy, but just more maturity. More clear-headed, what I want to do, how I want to do things. Obviously, last year in the first round, I got hurt in the first round, so it was a lot of adjusting, a lot of, you know, customizing the training and things to get me through the season. The PFL is a long season, you know, but this year is completely different, mentally, physically. My team knows it. My dad feels it. Even my girlfriend, she's super excited for me, and I'm excited for myself.
Awesome, man. And you seem excited. You seem like you're ready to
Yeah,
go.
for
How
sure.
big has the support been? I mean, I know that has to be huge, but just to put it all together for this Saturday.
The support's always been amazing. It's always been. I've always had a good family and friends behind me. I've been saying I wanted to do this since I was a kid, you know. So maybe I just annoyed them that much, where they're like, all right, let's just support this guy the whole way. But no, it's just that's the main thing in any fighter's career, right? Is the support, the people believe in them, the people behind them, and at an American Top Team, plus my family, plus my friends, it's been a blessing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you know, with the whole wins and losses, the last 5, you got 4 big wins. Decision not necessarily going your way.
Yeah.
Most fighters learn the most from a loss. What are we taking in? Was it the teammate factor? Like it's like we didn't really have fun in there.
Yeah, you know, after my loss, I sat there and tried to analyze a bunch of reasons how I lost, why I lost, and we could sit there and cry about it over and over again. You know, I even blamed the mullet, you know, like the mullet was flying everywhere, you know, and I wasn't getting hit. It was these moments where I had to almost appreciate the downfall a little bit to appreciate the, you know, the uprising, to get back on my feet. I always tell people, don't ever stay too high in the highs, never too low in the lows. Always try to keep yourself in the middle. And unfortunately, for the first time in my MMA career, I was in the lows, you know, so I had to take time and literally pick myself back up little by little. And it sounds cliche, but it's the best thing that happened to me was that loss. And losing to a teammate, I mean, it's crappy, but I tell people it's almost like, would you rather have your best friend date your sister or some random guy or something like that, you know? So I'm happy Omari, I'm happy he was the guy to give me the wake-up call, you know what I mean? And I love that guy still till today, so. But it's good, man. The loss really helped me put things in better perspective.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Good luck
Thank
on
you.
Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Josh, this is the first fight that you're coming into a fight without that 0.
Yeah.
Is there less pressure on your shoulders now?
No, I mean, I think the pressure is always going to be there. It's a fight, you know what I mean? I was telling the other guys, I try to approach every fight like 0-0. You know, at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's a very glorious sport, but it's a rough sport. People, they kind of remember you for your last fight, you know? So I try to, the success is good, but I tell my dad, you know, when I'm an old guy and I'm done with this sport, we'll sit and reminisce about the good memories. But MMA is like, you won, all right, buddy, just keep on moving. You lost, same concept. You just got to keep on moving, one fight at a time, until you could do something for yourself, you know, build a future.
Christoph was in here earlier and said that there was a time frame where you guys almost fought in the first round.
Yeah.
Are you happy that you didn't have to fight in the first round?
Yeah, you know, I never want to fight a teammate, but it just like how it happened with Amari and I, we heard it through the grapevine of, hey, we might do this, we might fight, you know, it was a couple looking at each other at the gym and then crack a smile. A couple times he didn't want to say, you know, hi to me. I looked at him and I said, man, you better say hi to me, you know. I helped Christoph a bunch. But yeah, I'm definitely, you know, I'm happy that we don't have to fight each other the first round, but you know, he knows, Thiago knows, we all talked about, you know, just this is the business part, you know, and they want to be successful just as much as I want to be, you know.
In the light heavyweight division, there is five American Top Team
Yeah.
fighters. So I mean, you guys all talk beforehand, right?
Yeah, no, we talk beforehand. Whatever we hear, we go to them to, hey, did you hear that on your side too? You know, the coach, like I said, the coaches have a harder time dealing with this stuff. You know what I mean? That's the price we pay to be the best gym in the world. You know, that's why PFL, I think they should pay us little monthly paychecks just to have a whole weight class ready for them. You know, but that's what American Top Team is. You know, if you need a fighter, somebody ready, you know, you could call us. You know, we're always looking for fights.
The most important question is, how do you keep your beard so nice?
You know, I think it's a little bit of genetics. You know what I mean? Maybe Dad over here passed me some barbarian genetics, but yeah, I don't know. It has those curls in there. It's almost like kind of Greek looking. I'm not sure why. Soap and water, you know, maybe a little conditioner, and I give it a little comb here and there. I don't really use beard oil, but Yeah, man. Let me know. And send me a DM if you want me to send you my beard schedule.
I will absolutely take you up on that.
I've got a question, but it's not about beer. We've been asking a lot of the millionaires what they spent when they won. Have you thought about that? Like, what kind of fun thing you want to buy if it gets to that point you get $1 million?
Yeah, I still have the same concept of I want to buy off my mom's condo, and then I maybe want to buy some more property, put my family in somewhere where they're comfortable. But fun-wise, I still don't know what I want to do with fun. You know, I want to take care of so much things around me, give back to the people that's helped me. But I'm sure I'll find some. I'm a fun guy. I'm sure I'll buy a jet ski or something like that. I don't know. You know, down in South Florida, there's a limited things you could do down there.
Oh, I am bought a bidet. Keep that in mind.
Oh, bidet?
Yeah.
Oh, I love bidets.
Yeah.
Bidets are amazing. Bidets are amazing. All my friends have bidets. I actually don't have. I tried to install it the other day actually, and it didn't go well. But yeah, maybe I need a better. Maybe I gotta buy a better toilet first before I buy the bidet. Yeah.
I got one. You went to Arizona State.
Yes, sir.
You were wrestled there. Could you give my audience a wrestling story, whether it be on the road or on competition day? Anything you want to share?
Any story?
Sure.
I remember on the road, my headgear broke, so I got this new headgear, and if you're familiar with wrestling, the headgear is a pain in the butt to adjust. So I'm sitting here on the plane, I don't know where we're going, and people are looking at me crazy because I'm pulling this, putting it on my head, and I'm on the plane, and the guy's like, this dude's about to do something. And my teammates are all just staring at me like, this guy's crazy, and I take the headgear off, I'm adjusting it, put it on again. Took good, an hour and a half. But eventually, we told everybody not everybody, people around, hey, he's not gonna go run through the plane wall, or he's not gonna go crazy. People thought I was like gearing up to do something crazy, There's a photo of me actually. I'm adjusting, and my buddy's like, you crazy dude, But that was a very memorable story that I had with ASU. There's plenty more. Probably can't say all of them.
Somebody already did one of my other questions. My last one is, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food? That's easy, man. I was raised Brazilian culture. You got rice, beans, and picanha. Rice, beans, and a nice Brazilian barbecue steak right there, man. And we're good to go. Throw some French fries in the mix. We're good to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Josh, right here. You mentioned earlier you've been doing this since you were a kid. Is there a fighter that inspired you to get to this point in your career?
Yeah, I've had many fighters inspire. Obviously, my dad's top notch for me. I've been watching him. I was always that kid growing up. Usually, as a young boy, you grow up and you get to a certain age where the fairy tale of like a dad becoming like the strongest guy in the world. Eventually, like you realize, oh, there's definitely stronger dudes. For me, that's never left my mind. You know what I mean? In my mind, my dad is the best fighter that's ever walked this planet, the strongest dude on the planet. I'm like that little boy still, But other fighters that I've seen around, I would say like the coaches at the gym. You got Mike Brown and Thiago Alves, all these guys that I was raised around. I saw them fighting when they were my age. So those guys really inspire me, maybe because they were hands-on. But of course, we have like those like Melvin Gallards, which I loved watching back in the day, just like totally, kill or be killed type of guy and things like that. But I've been around this sport for so long that I'm always shuffling through guys that I enjoy watching,
Thank you.
Yeah.
We all set?
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, sir.
That's it?
Appreciate
Good.
Thanks for the time.
They already know.
So he's obviously heard about some of the stuff that you've said, and he doesn't seem to really pay much attention to it. Do you kind of want him to come back at you a little bit? Does that excite you to have like a little bit of back and forth? It won't fit
Okay.
that way.
Um,
You're fired.
I don't.
Edit that out.
I don't really. I don't care if he comes back or not. I'm gonna say what I say. I say what I believe, and when I say it, I believe it. So it really doesn't matter to me if he replies back. The only time I mind if someone doesn't reply back, if I'm like on the streets and I'm about to street fight someone and I can tell they don't want it with me. I'm not a bully, so I'm not gonna bully someone who doesn't want to fight me. But this is the fight game. He signed a contract, and I could care less about how he feels about what I said. I said what I said.
You said that you're acting deranged. I'm wondering if you can respond to that in particular.
No comment.
And looking past it, are you able to look
I think he
past
thinks I'm deranged because he looks at me, and he looks at me good, and he says, that man looks crazy. But in reality, there's a fear in him that makes him say that word, deranged. When you look at someone, you don't understand them, when you can't comprehend them, that guy's crazy. Sure. There's nothing I said that didn't make sense about him. He looks pompous, he looks arrogant, he walks around like he's better than everyone else. And if that makes me deranged for saying it, then I'll slap him again.
Is that an appropriate word, you think, of how you're going to act in the cage?
Absolutely not. I hope he thinks I'm going to be deranged.
What word would you use to describe how you'll be in the cage?
Unbothered.
Okay. And are you able to look past it at all yet? Do you feel comfortable looking ahead at who you may be facing? Are you able to get excited about that, or are you still just focused on
I'm excited about Chris Wade. They're Christmas in April. April Fool's Day, no fool day.
Thank you.
You train a bunch of guys. Does that, do you think that helps you, hurts you, indifferent in your preparation for your
I think it helps. Anytime you can help people learn the craft that you're, after the craft that you're doing and dissecting it forward and backwards, it helps you get an understanding of the game yourself. Sometimes you'll say something to someone that was meant for your own hearing. There's times where you advise people and you wish that same advice would come back to you, and there's sometimes you just don't think of what to say to yourself, but you have all the answers for everybody else. And I think that plays into a little bit of coaching and a little bit of preparation. Sometimes these guys come up to me with a bunch of questions and I answer it, and I'm like, oh, that was really good advice. I'm gonna use that myself. So
even when it's younger people, not even close to your experience level, it's still...
all ages can help you. Everyone you meet knows something you don't know, so I take that into consideration.
Is Dewey's ground game evolved at all?
As Dewey's ground game evolved, I would say it has being around me. He's just been seeing, he's watching, so yeah, Dewey got some ground game. I wouldn't expect him to go to the ground though.
Oh, no, yeah. Thank you.
What's the difference between this Bubba Jenkins today, or that's going to come out here on Saturday night, and the one that from the last fight? How can you describe that? Put into words for us.
I'm a more mentally focused man. Last time I fought with emotions. I fought with a lot of feelings, and I'm looking to be unbothered this year. That's why that word was so prevalent. Unbothered, not, of course, during the lead up, we're going to have this anxiety, and we're going to speak about, the things we want to do to each other and how we dislike each other. But my belief when I step in that cage is, like any other switch that I've been able to click on and click off, it's just to be unbothered and to be focused on the task at hand. I do a lot of times allow the crowd to get me riled up, and I play into the crowd a lot. I like to have a little fun in there, but the task at hand is more serious than to win the crowd and win your freedom. I already have my freedom, so it's no gladiator thoughts.
Are you thinking, is he looking like a different opponent to you? Are you feeling like, obviously guys have more experience, but from what you've been seeing, are you feeling like he's evolved in any way?
Yeah, Chris Wade's gotten better. Each time we go into camp, you try to get better. And I haven't seen him in probably 6-7 camps. So I guess he's getting better. If he's not.
So it's safe to say you probably haven't been watching his fights.
Absolutely not. I do not watch Chris Wade at all. I care less what Chris Wade does. Batman versus Batman.
I'll ask a dumb question of the day. What's more important, you win this championship or the money?
Man, since
not a dumb question.
Since China and Russia are throwing the dollar out, it's probably better to be a champion these days. I can go anywhere being a champion. I can't be anywhere with $1 million. They don't transfer the same. So
convert it to yuan.
I think being a champion speaks louder than having the money in your bank, because people know what it takes to become that champion. Although it comes with the money, there are fools with a lot of money. Over here.
You said the importance of winning this championship. What would you do if you win $1 million this year, and what would you purchase?
The same thing that I was going to do last year. I'm going to invest and build up my team that's around me. I have a really good team, a really good group of supporting people, and you know, I'm a facilitator. I like to help the people that are around me because they have helped me so much. So it'd really be just giving back to the people that are in my circle and speaking with the wise men that I have in my group to make sure that we're investing, and once become rich, we never become broke.
And I know you just said you don't watch Chris Wade's fights, but I'm sure your coaching staff does. What have they told you that and the ways he's improved, and how do you think you'll counter that?
We haven't talked about the ways he's improved. We counter with the way we lost and just being more mature and having a better understanding of the feelings involved, the emotions involved. Leading up to the fight week, we're going to be all antsy. It's, you know, fight time. There's a lot of energies in the room and things like that. But come fight night, I'm going to be cool, calm, and unbothered by anything he does. Even his face will not bother me, which it does often.
Thank you.
If you, you win, you're 1-1. Does the trilogy fight, does that like entertain you at all?
Sure. Anytime I get to punch Chris Wade in the face, I'm a happy man. So after I beat him this time, if they want to run it back, line it up. I hope it matters for something though. You know, I would love to send him home right before the playoffs or right before the championship or for the championship. You know, but, yeah.
Speaking of the championship, for those that don't know, could you explain Air Jenkins?
Air Jenkins, it's an airline that I take a lot of people on, first class usually. They have all the amenities, great seats, great view. The landing isn't always the smoothest, but it's a great ride. Air Jenkins is something that I've invented as far as where I take people on that smooth 5-point slide. So that's the Air Jenkins. Bubba Jenkins Airlines, we come in soon.
This is the coolest part for me. I learned that you went to Cox High School, is that right? I went to Princess Anne.
Oh, PA with Pharrell and them.
Do you consider Virginia Beach your hometown?
100%. Everybody know I'm from Virginia.
What did you do the last time you were there? I was just there last week.
I gave back to the kid. I did a little seminar and a little speaking engagement. Virginia Beach Fight House is one of my, you know, I love that what they're doing over there. Not many mixed martial arts in Virginia, and what Virginia Beach Fight House is doing, I've always tried to advocate and be a big help for them. So last time I was there, I was just speaking to the kids, and bad man love the kids.
Right on. Yeah, I got my start at Gustavo's.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's awesome. You went to school where Pharrell went to school.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
His mom was my middle school librarian. She gave me my first book to read.
Yeah, I've only met him once. He signed one of the albums that he came out with.
My high school coach is his first cousin.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you remember what the book was?
It was a. I don't remember the name of the book, but it was a sports book. This kid was, man, it's wild that I have this. This kid was a baseball player, and he was trying to work on being a good baseball player while also not being bullied.
So I'm going to throw out a really random question, but you're talking about libraries. What are your thoughts about all the books that are getting banned in libraries? Seeing as you have memory of the library.
I think they're always, since the beginning of time, they're always going to try to suppress the truth. So with people being offended by just every little thing, sometimes the truth draws people the wrong way, and I think people are going to do whatever they can to feel comfortable. And I think love and truth will always find its way through.
Hey, Bubba, one last question. I know you pictured yourself getting your hand raised and taking home the belt and the big check that comes with it in your mind while you're over there training with Dewey and whatnot. While you're training in your mind and going through these fights and through your head, who are you fighting in the championship? Who are you putting your hands on? Who are you beating down in the final?
Man, it's preferably a champion. It's Locknane or Moffley, simply because to be the man, you got to beat the man, and they're the only two guys with the belts. You know, I've beaten Palmer before. I'm looking to revenge my loss or redeem myself with Locknane. But if the way it matches up. I don't reach either one of them. It's just to get my hand raised as the champion. But I think this is the best year to win it because I think it's the thickest of the years that we've had. Some of the best talent, and I think all the guys are tough.
Your prediction tonight: Las Vegas Hustle versus Philadelphia.
Las Vegas Hustle, let's go. Dewey Cooper and the team. I'm part owner of the Las Vegas Hustle, so shout out to them. Let's get this thing going. Tonight's the big night, TCL. Make sure y'all tune in.
It better be a pleasure.
Thank you guys. All right.
Before you fight, how are you feeling?
Feeling great. Very excited for that.
Making your PFL debut. How excited are you?
I'm very excited. I'm prepared very well. I can't wait for Saturday night, put in the show, and show to everyone that Thiago Santos driving the PFL.
They're, didn't give you an easy fight for your first fight. You're fighting last year's champion. How do you like the matchup?
I like this matchup when they call me and say we're gonna fight the Robbie Wilkerson, the last PFL champion. I feel great. I like so much this fight because I have fought the best of the world. I wouldn't expect something different here. I came here for that, so I'm very excited for this match. He's a tough opponent, so I'm very excited for that.
So you were happy to get the champion in your first fight?
Absolutely, I'm very happy.
Awesome. A big, I guess, talking point on the light heavyweight division is there's 5 American top team fighters in this division. Have you guys talked about maybe fighting each other?
Yeah, we know it's possible, but we actually like a man, we know each other, we are friends, we train together, everyone have his own dream to become a champion, to get 1 million, so no one can cut it to others, we understand if you have to fight, we're gonna fight, and after we're gonna do a barbecue together, we're gonna enjoy together, nothing gonna change.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Do you believe that Rob is the toughest one in the division? I know last year's champion, but looking at the bracket, looking at who's in the division right now, do you feel like he really is your toughest test?
He's one of the tough guy in this division, but the toughest we're gonna see by the end.
And do you have anybody that you're looking at that you're more excited to fight than Rob, or even just looking ahead, somebody that you're looking forward to fighting?
No, I be honest, I didn't look the all division yet, I always take care about myself, train, improve myself, so I don't care who I'm gonna fight, if I'm good, if I'm healthy, if I do my camp very well, I don't care who stay in front of me.
What was the biggest decision when it came to signing with PFL? What was the thing that sold you on it, knowing you wanted to fight here?
I'm very happy to be here at this point of my career, I want fresh blood, new opponent, new organization, so just new air, fresh air, so I'm very happy to be here. I'm blessed to do what I love to do, God giving me and keep me doing what I love to do. I'm so blessed for that. So I want to enjoy my last years of my career. So that's what I'm doing.
And compared to a fight week in the UFC, how has this fight week been? Has it been more relaxed? Has it felt the same? Or anything about this fight week that's felt different?
I always try to be relaxed, the homework has done. So this fight week I just try to relax, cut weight, enjoy everything. So everything good, nothing different for me. I always try to stay in my room, relax, cut weight, before I suffer a lot because, eat less, these things, but I learned how to do it. So now I'm enjoying even fight week, cut weight. I feel good.
Thank you.
Given your resume coming into the PFL, have you kind of compared your resume of the guys you've beaten already in your career and looked at what your opponents are in the PFL? Does that Does that give you a feeling like maybe the $1 million is yours, just based on paper alone? Do you feel like, does that give you more confidence?
No, no, absolutely not. So I never think about my opponents gonna be easy. I just treat them like a, very tough opponent. Doesn't matter who. I'll do respect and do my job very hard to fight anyone. So no, it's not come to my mind. I just came here to still do what I love to do. It's all the parts of my career. So, and that's it. I want to put in the show to everyone I'm still one of the best of the world, and get this belt.
And do you think if you win Saturday night, do you think you got that you defeated probably the toughest opponent in the division? Do you think that clears the way?
I think last year he was toughest of the guy here. Sorry, my English. But yeah, this year, sure, he one of the best guy in this division. But the toughest guy, we're gonna know the end of the season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question. You're for those who don't know, could you talk about the hammer tattoo that's on your chest? Where did you get it done, and what's the inspiration?
So when I get this nickname, my old coach put this on me when I was young and fight just Muay Thai. He put this nickname on me. I didn't like, but when you don't like, it's hard to remove. Everyone call you this. So yeah, it's become strong, and everyone call me Marreta. So I use that as a nickname, and after I decided to run the character, and then I decided to do this. I have the scar here when I was young because of my surgery, and I decided to cover that. So I'm gonna put the hammer. So.
What was the scar for?
It was a surgery what I did when I was 8 years old. It's a rare sickness for that time. I almost died for that. Yeah, it's a long story. But like 1 week to die, God sent a doctor, and that woman saved my life. Yeah, that's it.
Last question. Your wife, Yana, having fought last week, 2 fighters in the household, does that just help with your training camp? She knows what it's like to be disciplined. You as well. You both support each other throughout the training camps.
Yeah, this was the first time we fought close each other. Have some plus, have some minus, but more plus because we train together. We keep the diets together, eating together. So, and now after my fight next week, we can enjoy together. So like small vacation, you know what I mean? So it's good.
Is that how you're going to celebrate?
Traveling.
Vacation together?
Yeah, traveling. Also, this month is my daughter's birthday. So we're gonna do small traveling, and then after I need to come back to keep the train, so for my next fight. But yeah, 1 week, like small traveling, small vacation, we're gonna do together.
Thank you.
Yeah, go over here. Obviously, you cornered Yana last week in San Antonio. What's the transition like fighting a week after, and especially to being your PFL debut?
No, good. I felt more nervous when she fight than when I fight. It's hard for me, but I think I did well. I did my best. She did as well, her best. And now I'm here. I didn't ask they come with me because of my daughter's too much traveling, weak, stress, far from home. So I asked them to come back home, and then next week we're gonna enjoy together.
Yeah, and obviously you fought John Jones before. You gave him one of his tougher tests. What do you make of him capturing the heavyweight gold over in the UFC?
Sorry?
What do you think of John capturing the heavyweight title in the UFC?
Yeah, my thought before he would do good, and he did very well, like more than I expect. How he finished fight very early, but yeah, one of the best of all time. So I think he's gonna do 1 or 2 fights more, and then after he's gonna retire, I think.
Got one more for you. For anybody that's saying that, for anyone that's doubting you, saying that you're too old, that you're not good anymore, what's your response to them?
I don't know what fight they watch, you know, my last fight. I don't think I look too old, you know. I compete with young lions, you know. I give them hard fight, tough fight, you know. Win or lose, you know, you can be 20 years old and lose. It's part of sport, but I can't see they like kill me. It's not true. So I don't know what people, what fight they watch, you know. I feel great, I feel good. I know myself, you know. No one needs to say what I have to do. When I feel that the time's come to stop, I gonna stop by myself. Because if I feel I can't compete anymore, no point to go inside the cage. So, but I feel I train hard. I train, you know, every day with the best guys yet. A lot of young lions in the American top team, and I train hard with everyone, with heavyweight guys. And you know, my fights say by themselves. And Saturday night, I'm gonna put in the show.
Your last opponent, Jamal Hill, became champion. I just wanted your thoughts on if you thought he was championship material.
Yeah, I thought he's a tough opponent. He young and I think he has much to grow, you know, and he has time for that. And I think, yeah, myself he would be champion. But let's see if he's gonna keep because there are a lot of young lions too around. So let's see.
So I got one more. I just heard that your son is going to be a professional soccer player. Is that correct?
Yes, he does. He already playing. He playing very well. I'm very happy, you know. When you have kids, one day they go to the right path. You know what I mean? So I came from poor community of Brazil. I born there, my son too. So we changed our life with sports, and I'm very happy to be my son going to the same way as me.
Do you feel like you gave him that athletic ability? That's all from you?
I think so. I supported him since when he decided to become a soccer player, and he is a very disciplined boy. So that's why he keep growing and growing. And I think in a few years we're gonna see him in the Brazilian team, the main team in Brazil.
Did you want him to be a fighter, or were you happy that he went a little bit different route for his life?
No, I'm happy. I like, you know, the most important they go to the right path, you know, doing right things. That's the most important. What they decide to do, I'm gonna support them. So let's see what Alicia gonna decide, you know, to be. Maybe she go to this way to fight, and I'm gonna support her.
Are we all set? Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thiago, vou fazer nesse ano. Thiago, fazer com você em português.
Tá.
Aqui.
Aqui.
I'm going to get used before you get me. The hell?
I'm sorry. Can you hold this for me, can you, please?
All right, well, welcome back this time as a champion. Does it feel different this fight than it did last year?
Absolutely not. A fight's a fight. Doesn't matter if it's for $1 million, for $5. We're going to get lots in the cage and have a fight.
So, what's it like fighting here in Vegas? Does it feel a little different? Are you excited to be fighting here?
This is actually a dream come true to be headlining here. It really is. Like, I remember coming here at 18, I think was my first time, and come to watch Mayweather versus Canelo, and now I'm coming back to headline it myself. And I did always have dreams and aspirations of doing this. I really did from back then. So, really is a dream come true.
So this is a dream come true. I'm sure that winning the $1 million and being champ was a dream come true. What's your next dream that you're going to strive for this year?
I mean, yeah, a lot of dreams are coming true recently, and God blessed. So, you know, long may it continue. But legacy now. Marlon's a big name, and I need to take him out in impressive fashion and cement my legacy in the sport. That's the plan.
What were your first thoughts when you got that name?
I found out on a website. Someone just tagged me and you invited Marlon. I was like, all right, cool, sounds good. So, I mean, there's 9 other guys. You got to be prepared to fight all of them. I mean, I've beat half of them, so it's like it looks like it's going to be a lot of rematches this year. But let's go.
And I told you I was going to take note of something you said on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you remember.
No comment.
Oh no, come on.
I mean,
There's
there's all types of conspiracies flying around. I don't know what's going on with all that situation, but you know, we're here now. Millions of dollars on the line. Let's go.
What's the most outlandish one that we all know would not be true that you can safely talk about?
No comment.
Thank you.
No problem.
When your fight got announced with Marlon Moraes, man, people kind of like felt offended because you're fighting him. Do you think that's because of how good you are, or his downfall right now?
I don't look into that. He was beating Shaman in his last fight very comfortably and then just got caught. That can happen to anybody. I mean, it's been on a bit of a hard road, Marlon, he has. Look at the guys that he's lost to, Corey Sandhagen. I mean, the list is endless. It was only 3 years ago that he knocked out Sterling and beat Jose Aldo. So I'm prepared for that guy. So that's the guy that I envision coming at me on Saturday night. So that's all that matters.
You've been in the game for a long time, so do you think it's just he went through a bunch of killers and is just kind of in this kind of weird place right now?
I don't know what he's got going on. That's his issue. I've been paid to take him out, and that I will do.
I asked you this last year, but do you feel like you're finally not the guy that Dana White didn't sign on the Contender Series?
I hope not. I hope that people know that I'm the champion of PFL now, but I mean, I guess it's part of the story, right? I don't get offended anymore, it's just like whatever. It is part of the story, and it's overcoming that to get to this, which a lot of people take inspiration from, and so you should.
What was the first thing you bought with your $1 million?
I drove Route 66. I went off the grid completely for 8 days. Incredible. Loved it. Seen the whole of the States. Massive on the bucket list. Lived up to every expectation. It really did. And then I landed in Vegas then. That was for Darren's fight. And then I bought an apartment in Dubai. Really beautiful, overlooking the city. And yeah, I'm skint now. It's time for another $1 million.
Awesome. Good luck, man.
No problem, thank you.
Why did you choose Dubai?
I've been going there for like 3 years, on and off now. 6 months at a time, 6 months. I really like it. I really like the vibe. A lot of expats, English community. Good weather all year round. Very vibrant community. Everyone there go-getting. It's a real up-and-coming city, and it matches my energy.
So with this next $1 million that you're going to get, you think, since there's so many fights going on here in Vegas, that the PFL's kind of made this a home for a little while, maybe buy yourself a condo out here up on the strip or something with the next $1 million?
Oh, listen, I was already doing maths. I was there the other day, right? I hired this Airbnb. It was $1,400 or $1,500 for 6 days. And my friend said it's worth 100K. I was like, wait, so I'll have this paid off in how long? So don't worry, my friend. I'm already doing the maths around here.
Brendan right here. You said this is a dream come true, obviously. What has been your favorite part about this fight week so far? What is it, like the Vegas atmosphere, just doing media day, knowing you're the guy, the main guy on this headline card?
I just like fighting in Las Vegas. It's the fight capital of the world. Like, why would you not want to fight in Las Vegas? Like, this is the place to fight. Like, you're not fighting in Vegas. Where are you fighting? Like, billboards in Vegas, all this media. I just take it all in my stride now. Like, I've earned it. You know what I mean? And it's time to keep that momentum going now.
Yeah, and obviously, being from Manchester, who do you support, Manchester United or Manchester City?
I'm a Red.
You're Red. And who's your favorite player?
Rashford's coming back again, and like that's my boy, and like to see him really taking his stride again and finding his feet is brilliant to see.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, bro.
Question. You and I, we have a mutual friend, and Chad Macias.
Yes.
So obviously, if you're working with high quality coaches like that, you place a great value on strength and conditioning. Can you just speak on what the subject means to you and how it was for this camp?
How's old Chad getting on?
One of my best buddies, I talk to him almost every week. He's got a third kid now, and he's coaching football and still working with athletes.
I've not seen Chad in a hell of a long time. Tell him I said hello, but
Sure.
no, like Chad actually introduced a big part of my career into the track sprints, and ever since I started doing them, they've been a massive part of my training camps. Track sprints, 400, 200s, 60 meters. Like I've really incorporated it, and I've never got tired in a fight since I started doing them. So track sprints is definitely a massive part, along with wrestling, sparring. It's really up there. Like I take a lot from doing that track sprint. So shout out to Chad. Thanks for mentioning.
Yeah. You kind of answered this earlier, but on Instagram you had a post. The caption read, "Legacy is everything." So besides winning on this weekend, what are some other things you want to do in the sport of mixed martial arts?
Well, the million's great, but you can't take it with you, right? So when it's over, I want my name to echo. You know, I want people to go, fucking hell, that kid really did it. Like he really went for it. So, like, where I'm from in Manchester, if the word mixed martial arts or the words mixed martial arts ever get whispered, I want him to go, that was the guy. And that's my plan. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm going to beat Marlon comfortably on Saturday night.
Thank you.
No problem.
One more for you. Shane Burgos went up to lightweight, so is that a fight that you'd be down to maybe fight him at lightweight for like the pay-per-view series or something like that?
There's absolutely no way I'm a 55er. Like, I could probably make 35 if I really, really, really put my mind to it. So 55 is really not an option for me. I'd be giving away too much. So I'd love to say I'd go up and do it, but like I'm looking at some of the 55s, I'm like, no way. Like my attributes come up 45 because I'm big, I'm rangy, strong for the weight, but I would lose all that going up to 55. So 45 is my weight.
So he's coming down to fight.
I mean, he's fought there before, right? It's not out the realm of possibilities. Like, I like Shane. What a great fighter and a great human being. Same management. Like, I'm sure Marky would get us both paid, so why not?
And then finally, Darren Till's not with the UFC anymore. I just want your thoughts on, his last fight. You were there in the corner. You're, cheering him on, man. What do you think of his last fight and his kind of his journey?
Darren's always been an inspiration for me because he's done it. He's fought for a UFC title. Like he's been there, he lost, but he fought for the title, and he was the main guy in the UK for a long time. I class him as a really close friend, really, really close friend. He's like family to me. So, it's good to see him now back home with his actual family and really getting his head together and ready for the next chapter of his life and his career. He's just turned 30 years old. He's a baby. Like he's got so much to give, and I think the best is yet to come. Well, I know the best is yet to come. I really do.
What would you like to see him do next?
I mean, I don't know, he's taking a bit of time with his family and he's just training, and look at the run that he's been on. Robert Whittaker, then he fought, like, the names are just insane. Sort of like Marlon. He's in a Marlon sort of situation, like these names that you fight, like, nobody gives you credit for, that you lose to Henry Cejudo, that you lose to, like, all these names, and I was like, oh yeah, but look who he's fighting. Like, some guy could be 20 and 0 and fought nobody. These guys are just best in the world back to back, so you can't take nothing away from these losses, you really can't.
Another UK champion, Leon Edwards, defended his title, man. What's that kind of mean for just London, the UK? Is it awesome?
No, it's huge. Like, we didn't have a champion since Bisping. Like, one champion in the history of our country in a major organisation, and now we've got two current. I'm about to defend mine, he's just defended his. Leon's a friend of mine, what a guy. What a performance. And I mean, Makayev, Arnold Allen, like the list is endless of UK hotbed talent right now. So we really are flourishing over there, we really are.
With PFL going into Europe, and they have a league out there, is that kind of what you like to see them do?
I was the first ever English fighter over here, so to go from that to where it is now, I feel like we've grew together. I was always telling them, like, come to England, and they did for the semi-final. What a show. We had football chants going, we had all types going on over there, and I think that's when we really realised the value over there in the UK. So we took that, and they've done a whole Europe series now. The company's expanding. Shout out to Pete and Don and all the guys behind the scenes, because PFL are just doing a fantastic job.
You very high on Dakota and Simeon?
Yeah, and Lewis. I know all of these guys coming through. Dakota's an absolute superstar. You know, she really is. I've known Dakota for 8 years. Before she knew what mixed martial arts was, she was just doing Thai boxing. I know her whole family and mum and everyone, so I'm really, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, happy for all them people coming through. I really am. And like, I seen she just did aerial for the first time the other day. She's like, oh, pinch me moment. You know, amazing, man. Like, I mean, if I could have set anything for these people to set out the pathway to get to where I am, then, you know, that's another part of the legacy, right?
Thank you.
Is everybody all set?
Thank you.
Brandon, you just have one more.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, guys. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Jim.
Thank you.